Once upon a time, in a quaint little village surrounded by fields of sunflowers, there was a bright blue door that everyone in the village knew to avoid. This door was said to be magical and could lead to unexpected adventures, but young Mia, a curious and brave girl, couldn't resist finding out what was behind it. One sunny afternoon, after finishing her chores, Mia tiptoed to the blue door, took a deep breath, and gently pushed it open. To her surprise, it revealed a beautiful garden filled with vibrant flowers and friendly animals that could talk. Mia was greeted by a wise old tortoise who wore a tiny hat and round glasses. "Hello there, Mia. Welcome to the enchanted garden," he said with a warm smile. Mia couldn't believe her eyes. She spent the day talking to the animals, learning about the magical plants, and playing games with the giggling fairies. As the sun began to set, the tortoise reminded Mia that it was time to head home. "Remember, Mia, the blue door is not the wrong door. It's a door to wondrous places, but always return before dinner," he said kindly. Mia waved goodbye to her new friends and stepped back through the blue door, which gently closed behind her. She returned to her village, her heart full of joy and her mind filled with delightful stories to share. Moving forward, Mia knew the blue door was her entrance to magical adventures in the enchanted garden, inspiring her dreams. The end. Good night, sleep tight, and may your dreams be as magical as Mia's adventures. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a princess named Alara who was kind and gentle. Although she was a princess, she was forgotten by her people, as the kingdom was vast and the villagers were busy with their daily chores. One night, Princess Alara gazed out of her window and wished for friends who would remember her and share in her joys and sorrows. Upon seeing a shooting star, she made a wish for companionship. The next morning, she decided to venture into the village disguised as a commoner to meet her people. As she walked through the village, she was captivated by the laughter and chatter of the children playing in the square. Bravely, she approached them and asked if she could play too. The children welcomed her with open arms, and soon they were all laughing and playing games together. As the sun began to set, Princess Alara realized she had made wonderful friends who saw her for who she truly was, not just as a princess. From that day on, Alara visited the village often, each time forming deeper bonds with the villagers. The once forgotten princess was forgotten no more, for she had found a place in the hearts of her people. And so Princess Alara and the villagers lived happily, cherishing the friendships that brought joy and warmth to everyone's lives. The kingdom was no longer just a place, but a home filled with love and laughter, and the forgotten princess was at the center of it all, her heart full and content. Good night, sleep tight, and remember, true friendship can always light up the darkest night.
A man stopped at a flower shop to order some flowers to be wired to his mother who lived 200 miles away. As he got out of his car, he noticed a young girl sitting next to the shop, crying. He asked her what was wrong, and she replied, "I wanted to buy a red rose for my mother, but I only have 75 cents and a rose costs $2. The man smiled and said, "Come with me, I'll buy you a rose." He bought the little girl her rose and ordered his own mother's flowers. As they were leaving, he offered the girl a ride home. She said, "Yes, please, you can take me to my mother." She directed him to a cemetery, where she placed the rose on a freshly dug grave. The man, shocked, returned to the flower shop, canceled the wire order, picked up a bouquet and drove the 200 miles to his mother's house. Life is too short. Spend as much time as you can with people who love you. A 24-year-old boy seeing out from the airplane's window shouted, "Dad, look, the houses are going behind." Dad smiled, and a young couple sitting nearby looked at the 24-year-old's childish behavior with pity. Then the son shouted again, "Dad, look how small the cars are down there." The father smiled and nodded his head. The couple became more and more annoyed by the childish behavior, and anger began to grow inside them. Suddenly he again exclaimed, "Dad, look, the clouds are running with us." The couple couldn't resist and said to the old man, "Why don't you take your son to a good doctor?" The old man smiled and said, "I did, and we are just coming from the hospital. My son was blind from birth, he just got his eyes today." Things aren't always what they appear to be. Everyone has their own story. Avoid judging others, as the reality of their situation may astonish. Once in a neighborhood there were two families. The Smiths and the Browns were best friends. They knew each other since college. One day, Sarah Smith and Camila Brown had both a baby on the exact same day. Through the years, Sarah notices that she doesn't connect as much with her little girl as Camila does. Camila's daughter Olivia was beautiful. She was the best cheerleader in town, and her marks were way better than Chloe's, Sarah's daughter. Sarah never said a thing, but it really triggered her. One sunny weekend, both families decided to explore some mountains in the north. Sarah, seeing how good Olivia guided everyone, got even more mad. Her own daughter had way more difficulties. In the middle of the night, Sarah decided to poison Olivia's water. The next morning, everyone was shocked when they saw Olivia's dead body. After a few weeks, the police arrested Sarah. They had DNA evidence. But Sarah was even more shocked when the police told her that Olivia was actually her daughter. After giving birth, the doctors must have exchanged the babies without noticing. She lost what she most wanted,